Good morning, everyone. So, today I am Nathan and I'm going to be talking about resourcing urban space. That is my theme there, and I'm going to start off with a short statistic. Sorry? Did you know that in Seattle, 40% is covered by parking space? Wow. And of this 40%, 50% of that is empty. This is a big problem. Okay, so cities are densifying rapidly. The first thing that comes to my mind when I see this picture is, wow, what a waste of space. What an urban mess this is. There are increasing car users, inefficient use of existing parking areas, and as well maybe lack of incentives to travel sustainably. A picture like this got us thinking of what we could do in order to improve such a situation. What could we do to make the sidewalks more accessible? What could we do to make this more sustainable and create a better quality of life for our citizens?
So essentially what we want to do is we want to approach different businesses, markets, schools, different entities that contain public parking spaces outside of their businesses, which are not being utilized at night. We want to put these parking spaces inside of these buildings, like an underground parking, so that then we can remove the parking spaces from outside and create more space. This will allow us to use that space for bus lanes, bike lanes, and better pavements. So, the outcome of something like this would be that we would have repurposed street parking. As you can see, this is the before and this is the after. I think like this creates a big value for the citizens in the city, as they could be able to use other means of transport in a safe way, such as cycling, walking, while also feeling safer and also feeling more happy as they are in greener areas. Paris underwent a 15-minute city project where they focused on having the necessary services and amenities within a 15-minute range by non-polluting services. This led to the creation of 1,000 kilometers of cycling lanes. This project is something that we were looking at in order to help us identify what solutions we could come up with.
So, what exactly is our service? With the investment of municipalities, we will be able to install gates and EV chargers at these locations, the newly publicized car parks. Then, using the API from an existing company called Parkle, we will have a back-end gateway system, a software gateway system, that will feed the data gathered from these hardwares into our cloud system. The cloud will also gather data from the license plates reading cameras, and this data will be provided to our streetback company admin system. This admin system will then prepare the data and feed it back onto the streetback backend system, which will be viewed by the owner of the car park to see how much revenue they've generated, to see the utilization, and to see the difference that our system has made. We will also provide the similar data to the streetback app.
Our app would include features such as live parking availability, reserving a parking space, any discounts available by partnering with local municipalities and local businesses to create such discounts, and statistics both on an individual level and as well as a global level of the impact that we would be doing by introducing such projects. EV chargers could also be available.
So what is the market size for this? The total market size consists of 7 million street parking spaces throughout European cities. This is 7.4 billion euros. The total approachable market out of this is 50% of this, as we aim to remove 50% of street parking spaces. That is 3.7 million euros. Out of this, the total obtainable market, which is 20% of this, which is what we're looking for over the next 10 years, that is 740 million euros.
So we started off our journey by developing the concept, where we identified the problem and shaped our solution. We then went off to build partnerships. We reached out to the municipalities and we reached out to private parking owners. This was to secure our pilot locations. We are currently working on the app prototype. We are designing a user-friendly interface and integrating the APIs. Next step would be to launch the pilot in a selected neighborhood to test and refine the model. And finally, we are going to scale up and expand to multiple cities where we can transform the urban spaces across multiple areas.
These are some of the references we used, and that is all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you so much for your presentation. I would like to know, in terms of validation, have you spoken with some municipalities from Portugal or abroad to validate this idea?
So of course a project like this is something that is on a larger scale. So for something like this, as Graziella mentioned, we would need to create a pilot project by collaborating with some cities, like first a local small city, and to see how a project like this could go. The next step would be, yes, to speak with somebody and...
because it will be the municipalities who will pay for your solution. Who is your customer?
So our revenue structure would be
that is going to park the car or to municipality?
We would take a 40% commission from the parking fee in exchange for providing the solution, and the municipality would be the one who pays for the initial investment plus the removal of parking spaces. And similar things has happened in Oslo. They did a similar project where they removed 800 parking spaces, and it increased the utilization of private parking only by 5%. So it went from like 32 to 37%. So think if we do it on a larger scale, how many more parking spaces can be utilized and removed.
Another example is the 15-minute city project in Paris that I mentioned. That is also involved the removal of parking spaces, and we can look at these projects and say, look, these made an impact. If we do them on a larger scale, we could also create an impact. We aim to have at least 20% of the European cities to adopt this idea.
You should think also beside municipalities, because in Aveiro case, I don't know if you were studying the city of Aveiro, but we have some parks that previously were explored by the municipality, and nowadays they have two private, okay. It is private companies that are exploring the parks, of course, that they paid to the municipality to do that, but nowadays the municipality don't have the parks. So I think if you, besides municipalities, try to think with other partners, okay?
So we would be utilizing the car parks that we would be utilizing would be under private ownership. So the removal of the street parking is owned by the municipality. We want to remove it, but the fact is that the municipality generates significant revenue from this. So we would need to partner with the municipality to provide the investment for the private parking, and in exchange, the private parking would get 30% of the revenue. The municipality would get 30%, and we would operate it all and run it all for 40%.
Something like this would also, maybe a question that may pop up to your mind would be, okay, so why doesn't the company that owns the car park do it themselves this? But if we develop this app, develop the state-of-the-art app that we plan on doing, and take care of all this stuff, and they are basically getting money for doing nothing because we are taking care of all these operations, acting as the middleman, this could be something that is good for them, beneficial, and they are making extra money without doing nothing.
And have you explored competitors?
Yes.
Parkel. Say it.
So there is a competitor that we based our operation system off of, and they're called Parkel. They're actually a partner of ours out in Hungary, and they have a similar solution, but they don't partner with municipalities, and they don't offer any incentives, and they take a much higher commission, so that they take 60 to 80%.
That's great. Thank you so much for your idea, because in Aveiro we need that for sure. We don't have very green in the city, so I think it will be a very good solution.
Thank you
so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So guys, since we are in well, I didn't tell you this before, but since we are in a tight schedule, so every presentation will only have one member of the jury asking questions and discussion.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So I'll ask group number 2
The questions were so good. We responded so well to the questions. No.
Se por acaso houver uma, desligamos.
Excuse me, are you all gonna speak? No, just two people. Just
okay. So we say we are two. So turn off the...
Is it good like this?
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, nice.
So you can stand there, and I can stand here. Better.
The last, this one.
Yeah,
This one.
Yes.
Better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Try it. Try it first.
Scroll. Scroll.
No.
The wheel.
The wheel.
Scroll.
Okay.
No. You
No.
need to scroll only. Just scroll. Okay. Like this. Scroll front.
No,
Or going
you
ahead.
need to touch it.
No.
Click it.
Scroll.
Good morning, everyone. We are here to present to you our project named Safe Steps. Imagine you're a kid named Ricardo, just on a normal school day, walking out of school, excited to go home, and then bam, a car almost hits you. And this can happen to any kid. But only 35.6% walk or cycle to school. However, the leading cause of deaths for children and young adults aged between 5 and 29 are road traffic injuries. It's also important to note that 59.7% of school kids got injured by road accidents in Portugal between 2016 and 2020. Presenting now our team. I think most of you already know all of us. We have Jake, Richard, that couldn't be here today, Damiano, Swiki, Anna, and Barki. We are a very capable team from various areas, including sustainability, business, engineering, and design.
Alright guys, so we have our product which is Safe Steps. It's a smartwatch and our value proposition is it's a smart safety accessory with for private schools or 5 to 8 year kids, and if you want to spread the road safety rules and have to be more lower in risk for the crosswalks and enabling a fast emergency responses unlike any generic GPS tracking device. So this one is more of like a crosswalk alert. It gives you, once you step in the crosswalk, it gives you an alert in a kind of a small vibration so that the kid gets to know and is attentive, like he can see right and left and then cross it, or see the red light and then cross that. And then we have live tracking and SOS tabs. We also have our interface with us, so you can just scan it, you can check the interface also. It's for the parents and the school. So it does have a live tracking page where you could see where is the kid actually and how much time it's taking, and also it gets the activity log. You can just have the time of how much it took to reach to the school and everything. It also have a mini road safety lessons which the parents can take care of them if they want to teach it at home or while they are around. And then you have a SOS alert notification that's gonna come once the child taps on the watch 3 times. It will send to an SOS alert to both of the school and the parents for the help. All right, so here is a small network that I say. It's more of like a win-win situation for us to the school, because the school will get behavioral data of the kid, and also they will get new marketing material for them to pitch it to the parents. And what will get it back is the clients that will be there for years, and they gonna be buying our watches now and then. And if you want to go in depth, you definitely can see up all the network here. We do have competitors too. You can see the competitors are more focused on GPS tracking and less on alerts of crosswalk specifically, because if the kid walks on the road, they need to have an idea of it. And you can also see the cost involved in there. You could see there are so much of higher costs, and we are just giving something as a solution to the lower level of 20 euros only. So there is other factors involved in it. Of course, the kid will be self-independent, and the parents will get some peaceful time, and of course you can get the data for behavioral study that is more important for a kid and the school. And that's it. This is our product. You can just scan it and you can give me a small feedback about it. Thank you.
Question? Gonçalo?
So is it down to me to comment?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, good morning everyone. Pleasure to be here in you. Sorry I cannot be with you in Aveiro again, as I had some family commitments. So I would say I did enjoy a lot the concept of the problem that you're tackling, which is a real problem. It's a concern for parents, and I should say I have 4 kids, and all of them cycle, and all of them cycled also to the school. And we always incentivized our kids to do it in spite of the risks that there are. So the problem is there, and you were able to identify the problem, which is where everything starts. It's from your pitch. It's clear that when there's strong competitors like Apple and others, it's clear that there's a market for it. So my first question to you is, you mentioned that you're going to be the cheapest solution out there, and what enables you to do that is my question. So when you compare, for instance, with a device from Apple costing 39 euros, it could be costing 20 euros. And I think about your demo, that was great.
Thank you.
The good MVP to start is always very convincing, so well done. That's just first question. What will enable you to be cheaper than the competition?
The last page. Yeah, sure. Actually, what we did is we did a background study with all the watches which is there, and since it is such a niche solution and we have to just focus on very few features on the watch, so the cost reduced from there, and we just need just few interactions, like it just shows up a notification while it's just crossing by, or a vibration, and only the tap. We are not focusing on making the kid more interactive with the watch, keep on playing with it. It's just one-way solution, so that's why we are reducing the cost in that perspective.
Okay, so if I understand well, your device is a GPS device that builds on, let's say, Google Maps or other interfaces.
Definitely.
And identifies the proximity to cross roads. Is that or crosswalks? Sorry.
Yeah, just the crosswalks.
Just the crosswalks.
Yeah.
So what would happen, for instance, if the kid was, let's say, trying to cross the street on a non-crosswalk situation?
Sure. It's more important because the kids are not that attentive when it comes to crosswalks. They are like kind of just dreaming up around, so we do want them to be more attentive at that moment when they just step on it or just about to step on it, so that it gives you an alert, and they should know that these 3 signs are more of like the crosswalk thing, that there is a crosswalk in front. So they have to be more attentive in terms of the traffic lights. Is it green or not? Because then only they will just head up their heads and see that is green or not. And then they will walk. They will also look left and right if in case the vehicle is approaching, because in a lot of many areas the traffic light doesn't work, but we have to just have a left and right look because the cars may or may not stop. So we have to be more aware about that. So we took care of this so that you can just cross away the street. There's a lot of crosswalks that comes on the way as in to go to the school. It's just that we have to have an alert for the crosswalks mainly, because then you can walk left and right on the pathways that doesn't matter anyway. So.
Also, if you let me add to it, that's why we have also the part of the lessons in the app, so the parents can also teach and incentivize the kids how to cross the road safely and where to cross it. So the lessons are mainly for that. And then, so that's why we focus more on the crosswalks than on the whole street.
Very good. Were you able to carry out the market analysis on the sizing of the market? So how large is the market for this kind of solutions?
Yes, I did a small research, but I haven't put it here. It's around 480 million USDs that is being invested by the whole world in 2024 for this specific smart watches. So that's the market that is being there, and it is kind of a 30% increase from the last years. So that's why there's a huge market for these smartwatches and this kind of applications. So yes, we can do that.
All right. On the business model, this is my last question. So this is going to be, you're going to sell the, let's say the device, correct, for 20 euros, if I got it right?
Yes, and
do you have a subscription, monthly or annual subscription that goes with it?
It's more of like a bulk contract which will be happening with the colleges or the schools. We want them to buy it and add it as a uniform, because I have already mentioned smart safety uniform accessory. So I want that to be in part of your uniform, school uniform, while you wear that, and you just submit it while you are at the school, which is also there in the network map. So in the network map, there is, you have to submit it on the school once you reach there, and you can pick it up once you start going from the school to the home, so that it the school can take care of its maintenance and the charging, which is more important.
So your customer will be the schools, correct?
Yes.
Who will pay you? Okay, very good. All right, thank you very much. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
So I ask you three to come to the stage. So
they want
our
us.
member of the jury, Massimo. So Massimo is already here with us. I'm Massimo. So he will be. You'll be commenting the next presentation.
Everyone will talk? Okay. You will talk? Just the two? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mary?
Yep. Thanks.
You're staying, you. Daniel go. Where did Daniel go?
Maybe in the bathroom.
Yes.
Maybe bathroom. I don't care about the others. There is only the peach here.
I hope our animations work.
If they don't,
They don't work?
screw my squares. You can click the button. Yeah. But try it first. Try it first.
No. Can we present?
Yes.
Possible
is
present
it-
from our own device, because I think a lot of the formatting got messed up.
No. It's cool.
From what I was seeing from the other ones.
Try it.
That one, and that one, and that one.
Yeah. But did you open it from Google Slides or from like the PDF?
You have the PDF for me?
Yeah, but like there are.
We have a lot of animations.
Yeah.
I think this one should.
Yeah, this is better.
This one's good. Okay.
Try it first.
Okay.
All right.
Try it. You can just use the.
Whichever.
This one. This one. Yeah. But then to go back, can you go back, please?
Yeah. Don't touch. Don't touch.
No, just like okay. Whatever.
Okay, then just one.
No.
No, don't touch.
You're going forward, not back.
Yeah.
One forward.
This one forward.
Okay.
All right.
Hello everyone. Have you ever considered experiencing a country by bike? Raise a hand. Not a lot of hands, but don't feel bad. It's normal, and I'm gonna tell you a story about that. We have Vivienne. Vivienne is a girl, and she's in a city. She wants to explore the local areas surrounding the city, and she thinks about using a taxi. But this is quite expensive, so she gives up. Then she tries to find a bike, so she wants an electric bike from a local store, but the locals do not really speak English, and she struggles a lot, so she ends up being stuck in her room, and she's sad. Just for context, this is not only a Vivienne's problem, this is a real problem that we have in our case study of the region of Anadia and Aveiro. For example, we have high level of pollution due to increasing centralized tourism and really little tourist activity in rural areas, which has a negative impact on local economies.
So what are we proposing? Our solution is a system which operates on the basis of rental e-bikes, as is shown here. It's called Rural Routes. We're going to have e-bikes which cater towards people of all abilities. For example, elderly may have issues going up hills or other geographical constraints. Having our e-bikes will assist them with this. We will have an app and physical counterparts, again targeting different demographics, as younger audiences may be are more likely to use an app, whereas older audiences may be more comfortable using a card. We'll have a tap-in, tap-out system. We are going to be connecting with local businesses, and we're going to be setting up stations there. These local businesses consider vineyards, consider gastronomical sites, places in rural areas where you wouldn't normally travel if you're just visiting the main city. Again, we're going to be unifying this with public transport systems for greater convenience and for greater integration with the pre-existing system. This means that Vivienne is no longer constrained to this small area. Vivienne can now go everywhere. Vivienne is now happy. Let's talk numbers. So the market we're targeting is the users of e-bikes. So we're projecting this is around 168 million. Out of this, we're assuming 15% have rental e-bikes, which is 25.2 million. The estimated SAM is projected at 1.8 million. This is calculated using 60,000 potential users multiplied by the average cost per day, which would be 30 euros. Then the sum, which hopefully you can see, is 900,000 euros. This is a realistic, semi-realistic estimate of market share in 2 years. It's not seen right now, but we have a B2C pay-per-hour system. That's our business model. And we're going to be partnering up with local businesses to provide discounts and things like that. Our competitors. So pre-existing competitors right now are traditional bike sharing services. The edge we provide over this is we extend coverage to rural areas where normally bikes wouldn't be able to access. Our competitive edge over bike rental stores is convenience. It's a big hassle to have to go to a store, rent a bike, and then after all of that, bring a ride back. Using our pay-as-you-go system, you'll be able to pick up a bike from a station and drop it off right back at a different station along the route.
Let's talk about our next steps. Once we are done setting up the initial stations, we will extend coverage to let tourists explore the whole rural areas. Then we will have partnership with local businesses for discount and help the economy grow and recover after this decline due to, again, centralized tourism. And we will provide cross-region rentals so that you can tap in Portugal and go all over the way to Spain, tap out, and you're done.
Let me introduce to our team. We have Giuseppe De Marco as our technical expert. I'm the research analyst, Liliana Francalanza. We have Vivienne as the innovation manager. We have Mehmet as the coordinator, Sean Mamo as our CEO, and Fanny couldn't be Fanny couldn't be here today, but she's our designer.
And now, given rural routes, would you consider experiencing a country by bike?
Thank you.
Massimo?
Yes.
That's the word to you.
Start talking to God.
Can you hear me there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, first of all, sorry to be there. I would love to be there. I cannot, and there was some issue with Zoom, so I entered a little bit late, but I'm happy to be here today, and I'm very pleased to comment on this one first. What I missed, so nice idea, motivated me to stay hung with your presentation because your narrative was very interesting. Nothing cutting edge, already seeing this stuff in the other areas, but what you are doing is something that is so easy, but no one does. So it's very interesting that you can develop in that way. What I miss, you were very optimistic because you are very young, and so it's right that you have to be optimistic. But it's not exactly for everyone because people with the difficulties to move will not use an electric bike. That's a bit difficult. And the other point is not so clear is where you charge this bike. So maybe it's not a floating fleet, but it's more that this bike should be back to some places. And these places where you have to carry back the bikes, it can be a station, a hotel. In Berlin, a lot of hotels are renting bikes. Also the place where it can be not just a place where to hire, but also a more entry point for the area. So that's also very, very good. I like that. I think there is untapped market, so very well done. I missed the number of day tourists, or let's say 2024 tourists for the area, because this is a better way to gauge how many potential customers you have, not just the money. And then I understood that then you want to scale up this project and going to Spain, going here, going there, but this wasn't so clear to me, so maybe next time try to think about a slide where you have the stages of your project, so you have an entry point, which is available district, and then you scale up maybe the district around, and then you scale up further. This can be also very interesting, and you will convince me to give you my imaginary €2 million for starting your startup. So altogether, I like that. Here and there, I think there were some points which need a little bit of brush, a little bit of fine-tuning, but generally speaking, it's quite interesting, and I would suggest going only electric bikes. Nothing with manual, because you are maybe mainly summer tourists, and it's becoming quite an effort to pedaling in summer. I tell that also because myself I'm a biker, so especially in South Europe it's becoming more and more difficult to do this as summer holidays with bike. Did I forget anything? Comments?
First of all, thank you for your comments. I'd like to specify that yes, we're targeting only electric bikes because our intention, our vision is to be open for everyone that can ride a bike, actually. And we would like also to include some bike for people with
mobility issues?
With mobility issues, and because they exist, and we would like to be some sort of pioneer in this frontier, because there are no bike sharing services that offer this in the market. And yes, we would like to partner with local businesses to have these stations there, so that you can be there, rest in the hotel, and then, I don't know, tap in, go to the next station, or have some rest and tap out. So yeah, bring a good comment, thank you. And
I'd like to address the issue of people, maybe not like elderly people, not being so invested in the idea. Personally, my grandmother loved to bike, and the fact that it would be an e-bike would help her experience these areas. I think we should try to prevent restraining our customer base to a younger audience. I think having these e-bikes will help us target these individuals. I think there is a market of elderly individuals who perhaps would like to experience these areas, but due to mobility constraints can't. So I think that it is possible, and there would be a market.
You should see maybe not to do an app. We have too many apps. Please don't do another app. But you should really partnership with local stakeholders, because they give you the leverage to reach more clientele. And maybe thinking of a package where they pay with the hotel bill, or they pay with I don't know what, with the bike, they pay with the train ticket or the bus ticket. Which takes a lot more time for you to put around the table all the stakeholders, but can be an easier way for you to start with the right leg in this experience, because the real point is how to reach the the audience in the first place. I don't know which is the investment you need at the beginning to have enough bikes, how to define that, but that's the moment you find an angel with sponsorize you for that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, do that.
Number 4.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
Everyone will talk? Okay.
Yes, please.
I don't know how. So.
Wait. No.
Okay.
Do you want
this one?
This one?
Yeah.
You want here?
Yeah.
Yes, please. The first
No,
one.
First one.
So good morning, I'm Lee and I'm the Public Relations and Design Manager at VOIs. So currently public transport systems are inefficient, unreliable and unsustainable. So this means that there are much less potential users which are being missed. So this means if there are less users, public transport, efficient public transport is less economically viable at the moment. So our task was to solve this problem, so we developed a new software, VioWise. So VioWise is a software aimed at transport providers, be it private or municipality providers. We also created an app which will work with this software aimed at transport users. And my colleague will explain the features of the app.
So, hi. So, VioWise is basically Waze and Google Maps, but better. It helps with the traffic, show live updates, and it's great with public transport. VioWise uses AI to change your route automatically. So when something happens, like delays or cancellation, for example, I was in Porto, I was waiting for the bus, and while I was waiting, I scan a QR code and it just states like how long I have to wait. But then I waited a whole hour for the bus to never arrive. So our other main features would be live GPS tracking for both public and private transport, alerts for any disruptions. We would also recommend other multimodal mode, special service booking, kids mode for safer routes, tourist mode, and it will also be available to multiple languages. VioWise makes travel simple, smart, and stress-free. And our market are commuters, and we'll get funds from public funding, grants, and also advertisements. And our partnership will be rental companies, local council, public and private entities, as well as agencies that are aiming to efficient for rural mobility.
Our goal is have a world that no community is left behind. We are on the first place and we are researching and planning, and we are thinking about the design of our app, the next phase, where we are bringing a vision to life and integrate across public, like private, and alternative transport like bike and ride shares. Then we are going to launch in a living lab to test and receive like real feedback from the users and providers. Then we do the real launch and rollout, always actualizing the app and making the app more intuitive.
So this is our team. Peter is our software manager. Tanya is our innovation manager. Miles is our CEO. Haido is our recruiting manager. Lloyd Jane is our fundraising manager. And I am the design manager and public relations manager. That's all from our end. Do you have any questions?
Hello. Congratulations
Hi.
for your presentations.
Thank you.
I have some questions about the problem. In the beginning,
Yeah.
you mentioned the lack of public transportation.
Yeah.
But is this the non-existent transportation?
It is existent, but it's not too efficient. So more people are like, I'd rather use my private car because the current system, I'll have to wait more. It's not efficient enough.
Yeah. But you believe that you have to wait more, but you believe that with your solution, I don't have to wait more for the bus? Did you validate
because more people
sometimes
will use it.
You focus on the solution, and this is for everyone.
Yeah.
Try to focus first on the problem. Is there a real problem? Because sometimes I believe that in rural areas probably we have a lack of people. That's why the bus goes there 1 or 2 times per day. And I don't believe that with your solution the bus go there more times. Okay? The idea is, did you validate the problem?
Because through this, more people will be encouraged to use the bus because there are few people and there are much fewer people who are using the bus. So if the bus is more efficient, more people will use the bus, so it will be more viable to go more,
but how is
to create more routes.
Of the bus?
Through the app there will be data collection, so which are the most popular bus stops, when are the key times, for example. Everyone would need to leave at 7 a.m. So we'll make sure that at 7 a.m. there will be a bus and it will not be totally full up because there'll be more routes. So through that data, we'll make it more efficient.
But with this solution, I probably don't go to that bus stop and I'd rather go to other because there are more buses in the other bus stop. Is that?
It will be possible because there will be live recommendations through the service updates, even if there are disruptions in the system. For example, a bus stop is not working because there are roadworks. So the app will tell you which is the closest bus stop to go and which is the most bus stop adapted to your route.
Did you explore other apps, the competitors? Because
yeah.
in Portugal we have
yes.
and I believe abroad.
But not all the apps have all the features that we have. That's how our competitors. So our main competitors are Waze and Google Maps
mostly.
With the live updates.
But they are specific for
But the thing is,
transportation.
yes, because for example in Google Maps, it's like when you start, it literally just tells you like your step by step, your route, and that's it. But when something like any cancellation or any delays, it doesn't automatically changes, and sometimes you're stressed out.
Ours will tell you right away, okay, your bus is delayed, it would be better you arrive faster if you'll take the other bus and stop there and change over.
And that's why I said we would partner up with the public and private transport system.
And you didn't find any app that do that?
No.
No, for example, with Waze, for example, the only thing that they're doing is it's mostly for cars, and it gives you alerts about traffic, any like accidents, as well as police and all that. But it doesn't like
give you the live GPS location of the bus or train itself, so you actually know live on the map.
It's a mixture of both of Google Maps. Like I said,
but that's the innovation part, where we like introducing something new.
It will be a B2C model?
We're doing business to government and to private incentives. So it could be the municipality or private service providers. It would be a mix of both. Yeah.
And do you think municipalities are willing to pay?
I would think it's in their interest to align with European sustainability. The more people you'll have using public transport.
I believe
it's in their
aware of the
yeah, I believe it's in their interest to improve their public transport system.
As also their economy. I mean, if they get tourists as well.
You didn't spoke to anyone, no?
Not at this stage.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next one is number 5. On this, after this presentation, we'll follow the comments.
How of you will talk? Only you? Okay. So let me talk. Nice, thanks. I don't have a place to hold it.
Then I'll pass it to you.
Yep.
Ok, então não posso pôr-lhe uma superfície por baixo. Então, aqui?
Experimenta e depois posso passar. estou a conseguir. Não.
Vou tentar agora com a rodinha.
Espera, assim.
Faz sinal quando quiseres.
Deixa ver a luz. Não.
Sim, a luz está a funcionar. Tá. Sim.
Faz sinal quando quiseres passar.
É isso. Diz-me quando quiseres passar.
Ok.
Só eu estou a conseguir.
Ok. Então, posso deixar aqui? Okay. So it's not working, so we'll just signal.
Do you want to start with this?
Yes. So, hi everyone. We are Innov4Mobility. So you probably know this wise man. He's a great environmentalist, and he basically says that if you're not willing to do something, nothing is going to get done. So here in Portugal, we have a problem that a lot of people uses their single car to go to work, and most of the times the car, it's empty. There's only one person there. That's what we consider an unsustainable commute. Specifically in Vila Nova de Gaia, which was the place which was assigned for us to work on our project, 70% of the users use their single car to go to work. We want to minimize these numbers through real-time data and by connecting employees.
So, a complex problem, how do we solve it? Well, enter Scamoose, a B2B carpooling app wherein employees of a particular company can link with other employees and navigate to their workspaces. When we say B2B, it means that we are working in a white licensing business model along with different companies. What's it going to do? It's going to reduce your CO2s, it's going to improve your air quality, and of course it's going to help the companies with their ESG ratings and with their SDG goals. And of course, we have greener cities. Now when we say greener cities, we just don't say it, we mean it. Our research shows that if this solution is implemented in a company, the amount of CO2 reduction per employee is equivalent to planting 20 trees. Now we all know that no individual plants 20 trees in his lifetime, so we have an alternative. Next slide. How are we going to do it? So let's say that we all work in the same company. I wake up and I decide that, okay, I know that Anna is traveling to work, she lives near me. I know that Sanya is traveling to work, she lives near me. So we all link together and we travel to work. But what's in it for us? Well, we all get sustainable points in the previous slide for traveling to work, which can be redeemed as monetary values or what employees like more as leaves. And looking at the market, well, we have an immediate obtainable market of 28 million per year because we'll be working in a subscription model. Then we have a market of 2.8 billion in Europe, and the overall market in the world is approximately 7.2 billion. So a complex problem, awesome solution, a great market. How do we get it? Well, with our roadmap. So right now we are in our prototype testing. We are seeing how our solution works. We'll go forward with some pilot projects in the Porto metropolitan area, and luckily in 2 years of time we'll launch it and hopefully get some B2G partnerships as well. Obrigado. So just one more slide. Let's drive together and thrive together.
No, it's the last one.
Yeah.
Sorry, we weren't counting on this technical issues. Okay.
Questions?
Gonçalo, if you want to ask your questions, please.
So good morning again, well done. It was a very efficient pitch in a very challenging problem that you're tackling, which touches many aspects. We know that Portuguese drivers love their cars, just like other, let's say, communities around Europe. It's very hard to transition to, let's say, individual practices or old habits into kind of more community-based. London, 20-something years ago, launched an initiative of taxing heavily, single drivers in the city, and they even prohibited certain areas with heavy taxes going into it. So there's ways to go around this challenge by enforcing, let's say, taxation cost by cost, but positive ways such as carpooling, most of them have failed. And I must say that when I was hearing your pitch, I think the biggest challenge you guys have is what will make us different? What will be the triggering factor? We know that, for instance, BlaBlaCar is focused on long trips, for instance. There's low expectations on punctuality, semi-social stuff. Waze carpool, for instance, before being killed, they try to piggyback off large existing user base. And then there's many corporates and school-based systems, for instance, where parents try to organize themselves. For instance, I mentioned before, I have 4 kids, and we organize in the neighborhood. We organize, let's say there's 5 parents together, and we organize the school trip, taking kids together day by day. So it's a super tough challenge. I don't think anyone has yet managed to really have a perfect solution. So it's more the how than the what. And I think what the group must focus on is really on possible combined solutions that at municipality level, in Nova Gaia, if you were, let's say, the team who would be making recommendations for action, and this is the question, what do you think could be 2 or 3 factors that the mayor could tackle in order to shift the paradigm?
Okay, well, I would say the biggest differentiating factor between us and the existing solutions is that existing solutions are B2C, like BlaBlaCar and so on. They focus on with the direct end users. We are going to focus with the companies. What they get is they get to meet their ESG goals and SDG goals, and what employees would get is incentives. People love their cars, but people also love incentives. So that's how we are thinking that we'll change the mindset, and yeah, that's what we believe is going to be our differentiating factor.
Can I just add something else? You were saying that if we worked in the Vila Nova de Gaia municipality, what we would do to promote this initiative. I think we also would like to, once this is implemented, we also would like to do some work like more socially to change some mindsets about like single car using, maybe even in schools, because we know that this is a Portuguese mindset of people love their own cars, and the cars is just for themselves and they don't want to share it. Sometimes they are in a rushed schedule. So maybe if we start implementing some mindset changes, even in children, and in the way that their parents commute to work, maybe in a few years we can have a lot of changes in this. And then of course on the infrastructure, because this is a solution to tackle a problem that is happening now, and maybe give some time for the infrastructure to change.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You mentioned also SDG. SDGs now are at the forefront because any business over, I think, 20 million euros turnover per year will be obliged to have some sort of practices and SDG report. So this could be a good driver for you, as you mentioned. In the sustainability annual reporting, just like the P&L finance reporting, companies must prove and must show with evidence that they have specific actions that promote certain type of activities, and that's a concept that you should dive deeper into.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your feedback.
Guys, thank you for your presentation.
Thanks, yeah.
So next we have group number 6.
That's really good.
Yeah. And just as a heads up,
Sorry, I didn't follow the exact schedule we had in mind because.
Sorry. Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Speak. Justin. Okay. I will look. Yeah. Sorry. Just you, right? Yes. Okay. Of course. Good luck.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Men in black.
Should we start? Okay. Well, good morning. We are Wave, a startup based in Aveiro, Portugal. And today we are here to talk to you about something really exciting. First, I would like to ask you, what would you do with 400 euros? It's not a lot of money, but it's a nice gift, right? Would you maybe buy a phone? Maybe a success? Would you go to a hotel? Would you go on holiday? There's a lot of nice things you could do. But 400 euros is about the average amount that the average Portuguese driver wastes while idling in traffic. The car isn't even moving, it's just idling in traffic. They spend around 27 hours a month, and with the average fuel cost, that amounts to over 400 a year. And in fact, 70% of urban trips in Portugal, in all of Portugal, were made using private cars. And usually, these cars only have one person in them. So how can we mitigate this? How can we make cities greener and more sustainable and waste less resources? Well, this is a nice little comic. But if you look closer, what do you think it conveys? I think that people will always look for a faster way, for a more direct way. And the people who plan our routes and plan our cities, they might not always know exactly what's needed. So the problem we're tackling is that there's a lack of insight into actual movement demand. And that is what we set out to do. So, Wave, we are a data processing company. We source mobile location data from telecommunication providers. This is secure and anonymized. Using our AI-driven analysis, we will seek out behavior patterns, and we will produce maps that highlight actual demand in connections and how people move. And using these, we can eventually optimize the public transport system, which will be our main focus. It will be partnering with municipalities, governments, and the existing transport system. This is how our dashboard would look like to our clients. It shows, so as I mentioned, there's the heat map that it pinpoints where the demand is. And since the model is very powerful, it processes very granular data. It can even be used to propose solutions to inefficient routes, inefficient existing routes, propose new ones, and see how the whole system can come together more cohesively. As a result, for our clients, this will result in enhanced efficiency, increased ridership, and a chance to play a role in a more sustainable environment. So, market structure. We are B2B and a B2G data processing platform. That's a typo. Our target clients would be governments and municipalities and public transport systems. And we would provide a subscription-based service with long-term contracts. We are focused on the smart mobility market, which currently is valued at 43 billion, and it's projected to reach around 200 billion by 2033. The serviceable market is around 17 billion, and it will grow to 100 billion at 2023. And in our first 5 years, we look to obtain around 400 million of this market share. The market is very competitive, and it exists, and it will keep on growing because cities are an ever-changing landscape, and an adaptive model that goes in real time is something that it's the only way to solve these problems and not get stuck in outdated data or outdated research. It is very easy to scale to different regions, and in the future we look to even expand into private transport providers and even micromobility stations, to micromobility providers to see where the best places to put their stations will be. So these are some of our activities, costs and revenues. We will be, as mentioned before, collecting and analyzing data and developing our platform. Our main costs would be the development of our own technology and actually sourcing this data. And our revenue. Okay. Do I stop? Am I allowed to continue? Or? No. Okay.
Sorry. Well, thank you very much, guys.
I think I should go, right?
Yes.
Also because it's only me between you and your lunch, so I will keep that quick.
There's one
no, there's one more group
left.
So, can you move back to a couple of slides? Because what is, I can understand it's your client. Now I play the bad cop. So, who is giving you the data? Because no one is giving you the data. Data is very expensive, and a lot of people are doing money selling data. So, you have to be very sweet and very kind to get this data. And more data you have, less prone you are to sell the data. So it will, I think this is the first point. And the second point is municipality often already have data. So what you can do is become even consultant for some municipalities and try to organize the data they have and then try to maybe scale up in a different way. But the entry market, there was a slide about the entry market, right? The entry point for you. Maybe the next one, you mentioned something, one more? One more? Yeah, so this is the small pilot, too much. Yes. Yeah, and so I think that that's very interesting, but still I see the point of the data collection. I think will be very difficult. You mentioned very en passant about artificial intelligence, which means nothing and everything. I think that we are developing quite powerful tools. I guess you already had that also in your school. So maybe you don't have to collect data from the mobile phones or stuff like that. Maybe you put some cameras and these can be enough to develop that, but was not presented. I don't know how much you develop on that point. Maybe you can give me some feedback on that, please.
Yes, so we do actually mention where we get the data from. It's telecommunications providers mostly, and we are very aware that this data is very expensive, which is why one of our greatest setbacks is a high initial cost. And that's why we're partnering with governments who would fund us, because it's very desirable and it is very in line with EU carbon emission targets, and it will make the movement of the city more efficient, we hope. And yes, we do mention AI, but that is because we aim to have a great amount of data, and the data is also very granular. So through the pattern recognition software, it could actually propose the new optimized routes. Instead of, I was going to mention that our competition is strictly descriptive based, and it's not always clear if there is a solution. But ours would actually propose new solutions, and we would have the feature of impact management. So you could actually quantify the impact a new route would have if you were to implement it using our tools.
Okay, point taken. For sure, we'll buy a couple of share of yours because you promised 400 million very soon, which is incredibly optimistic. But again, you should be optimistic, otherwise you don't start anything. The second point, what I would suggest to do, because your approach is very predict and provide style, very analyzing top down, I would suggest that maybe you can engage municipality and users, give it for free data for a good cause. And people can do that very often with even with pleasure. That's another entry point. The second point is about predict and provide. What I miss here is that you collect data and then you give the data to somebody else. But what I can understand is, what I think will be another market opportunity for you is, well, don't go for the usual suspect idea of the buses with schedule, timetable and with fixed routes. You can also suggest, well, maybe you can step also in the business or try to organize with the municipality and transport authority, public transport authority is also different way of running the business, which can be DRT, mobility as a service, peer-to-peer, carpooling and stuff like that. So altogether I see a lot of optimism, which is good, we need that. And still it's unclear you collect the data, and my proposal to do maybe 1 month of collection data where every citizen is given the data because they're happy to have a better system. So you need to engage the users, that's my point. But many thanks, it was very cool, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Slides, just do a sign to her because
Just you two?
the mouse is not.
And her. No. Nejdu na blusení lila, to je slide.
Okay.
Dama, you have to signal to her for the slides, okay?
Because we don't have
the mouse, it's not working. Okay? So, hello everyone, it's nice to see you all again. So, I would like to present the team. I'm Ilaria, this is Rhoda, Damala, Ksenia, Owen, and we have one of our members who couldn't be here today. His name is Nicola, and we'd like to pitch to you our wonderful idea. So, how many of you commute to either school or work or any other personal errands by car? That's a big no-go for us, big no-go. So we have identified a very big problem that a lot of people prefer comfort over sustainability, and that's a very big problem, and it's a right now problem. And transport emissions keep rising and fueling climate change, and basically since people prefer a lot of comfort over sustainability, we think that with the younger demographic, which is you guys, we can help to make the world a better place. So, our idea is that we will make an app, a Gamify app, in which you will either by walking, biking, or using any other means of public transport, you will get points in which after the points they will be transferred into discounts where you can use at local cafes, restaurants and shops. So how it works, when you walk you earn points and you play mini games to earn more points. And these will be for discounts for you, but as a safety precaution, since you can't either use your phone when you walk or a bike, you scan a QR code when you are walking and even biking, and it would start your trip. It will get the distance for you, and when you finish your trip it will calculate the distance and turn it into points. Now, as a way to be more sustainable for the environment and for yourself, there's a difference. You have either electric bikes or manual bikes, and when you use manual bikes you will get more points because either, apart from sustaining the environment, you're sustaining your health.
So the value proposition, basically, it's to make everyday movement more enticing and more fun as well. So we want to target young city goers so when they are walking, biking or using public transport, they can turn their everyday commutes into points and then into rewards. So it's everyday life turned into egging.
Next. Okay, so I will give you a preview of what the app will look like. Basically, these will be the rewards. You will get promotions off of local shops, cafes, and restaurants. This is how the points will be calculated, so they will be accumulated. You scan the QR codes for the trackers on the bikes or the tickets on your bus, and these will be the mini games you can play on the bus to earn more points. So this is our marketing strategy. Basically, the key partners obviously will be the local cafes, shops, and restaurants. The key activities will be app development and gamification, resources, app development, acquisition, campaigns, advertisements. Our revenue will be made from partnerships of said promotions, as the promotions will act as marketing towards these companies, as well as selling the anonymous data either to government entities or to real estate agents, as we feel it will be viable to know where are the most busiest areas, where people commute most to, as well as the less busy areas. Our customer segment, as we said, will be the younger demographic, and also tourists who are interested in more sustainable modes of commuting. As well, the key channels will be social media, promotions, and the QR codes on the trackers on the bikes.
And we talk about our value, what about the money? When we start to talk about the money, we get to target our countries actually, and Portugal. So we checked how many potential users we have and how many potential partnership we have, and we calculate our sponsorship money accordingly to this. And after we calculate in total how much money we can get with this application, and we see that accordingly 10 million euro a year we can get with this application. And when we checked our two close competitors, when we checked the step bets, they are users bet their own money to stay motivated, and the charity miles focuses on the donation rather than the personal discount or financial things, but we are doing this in our application. And when we check our roadmap, we start from here, and we are going to the, I hope, lunch.
So thank you for your presentation and congratulations for the idea. I think you identified very well the problem. I have some questions about the solution. In terms of partnerships, you are trying to put people not taking cars and go by bike or walking, and then you gave as a prize a discount in McDonald's. We have another problem. Okay, you are trying to solve one and then trying to go to other problem. I would like to see in the prices some health restaurants, and you have a lot of healthy solutions, that not only the coffees or even the stores, because you are contributing to buying more clothes. That is another huge problem. Yes. So I think you can think about the solutions, the price that you give about gamification, and I think gamification is very interesting, although you are putting young people more time in the
so basically, apart from that, the stores, they were just there just for an idea, because speaking for myself, I come from Malta and we have a lot of health places. One of them is called Eat Well. So as a way to sustain yourself as well, since you would be using a bike either electronically or manually, it would be beneficial, just like you said, to include other health shops.
This is probably an example.
Yes, example.
I don't believe that we have already talked to some companies to see if they are interested to have a partnership. But when you are doing your pitch and you are trying to convince us that you want healthier solutions, you want to put people walking and riding, then you put examples that this is just to pitch next time, okay? Try to have also the solution more healthy, okay?
We also have salad there.
But you have two things, the clothes and then also the McDonald's and others.
And the games would be only for the bus, since they
they are sitting down. Obviously, when they are biking and walking, they will earn points for the commute, and then on the bus they can extra points. Obviously, I think it would.
They have the tab on the app basically, and you have the mini games, because we asked for their feedback which type of games the young demographic would prefer, and we included these mini games because while you're sitting down, you can earn points in order to redeem them for discounts. And for example, the QR codes, in order not to cheat the system, you won't have a QR code stuck on the pole on the bus. You will get it on your on your ticket, and it will be generated a new QR code every time. So like that, it would be a more initiative that you will get to places by commuting rather than with your own personal car. So like that, you would get points.
But you can also think in terms of gamification. In some, I don't know, if I'm walking, why can't I be watching something more in terms of nature's, I don't know, try not to be,
No, the game is only just for commuting. The game would only be for the bus.
The games work only while you're on the bus.
Because you scan the QR code on the ticket for the games.
Who is going to pay?
Sorry?
Who is going to pay for the
So for the solution, since we will be, as we said, we will be collecting the data and selling it either to government entities and also to real estate agents, because speaking for us, we come from Malta, and there are a lot of busy roads and there are a lot of quiet places as well, and there are people buying lands in very busy places just so they can get more revenue for themselves, and like this we sell the data to them to show them where people are commuting the most, so they can actually benefit for themselves as well as since we will be doing these discounts, it's a promotional page for these places as well, where people can learn about new places and try out new different things.
As well as if we partner with local restaurants and cafes, it will be helping the community as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.